Right, we back with another one. Let's see what we got. Drake versus Jay-Z. What happened? I really don't know what happened, so I've been really wanting to know this story so I could see what happened. What was the beef between them? Because I thought it was, the Wayne situation or pushing them, but I don't know what the fuck them niggas beefing for. Let's see.
I used to want to be on Rockefeller, then I turned into Jay.
Sorry, Mr. Drizzy, for so much y'all talk. Silly me, rapping about.
It's crazy. I missed a lot of these disses. I didn't even know them niggas was going back and forth dissing each other. I just heard it after the fact.
I really bought.
And that's around the time that your idols become your rivals. You make friends with Mike, but gotta AI him for your survival.
I had Benzes for you had braces.
My favorite rappers either lost.
I remember that. I swear I didn't know that was about Drake. Damn, so this shit been going on for a while. Nigga said I had Benzes before you had braces. I ain't know Drake had braces. Is that true?
That ain't a lie.
Is that true? Y'all let me know.
Y'all kill X, let's end him and live. Streets is done.
You know they've been talking about Drake having something to do with XXX death for a while. And to hear Jay say that, I never knew I ain't know niggas really felt that way in the industry. Like you finally heard Eminem came out and said, oh, Puff got big and Tupac killed, but niggas wasn't saying that back then. So now they hear Hov say that. That's crazy.
If you want to watch this video completely in the description with Jay-Z being regarded as the king of subliminals, Drake has certainly proved himself worthy as being right.
I don't like that shit, nigga. Fuck subliminals. You gonna come direct, nigga. Say that shit direct, man. Let me know you talking about me. We want beef. Let's beef. You hear me? Don't throw slick shots. I want to know if you're talking about me or not.
Right there with Hov with the subliminal wars he's been involved in over the course of his career. How did these two actually end up in a subliminal battle? This beef has a couple of different reasonings.
Him and Nas was direct, so I need niggas to be direct and say names
behind it. The competitiveness of both Jay-Z and Drake is the common denominator to the beef, but something also was underlying. So let's take you back into the year of 2008. Drake was one of the most buzzing artists on the scene, dropping multiple mixtapes, which gained him a ton of buzz. Drake would eventually become the protege of the hot.
Nigga would have never thought Drake would have been like bigger than Trey Songz back then, and I say that because he had that song. She said I'll never be bigger than Trey Songz, ball with A-Ron, but nah, back then nigga really didn't think of that until he started dropping them fucking hits. Once he started coming with them hits, and it was like Trey who? Nigga, like Drake was that nigga, but Drake, I never liked it, his vibe. Like I never liked it, the corny, the white side, but then when you start rapping, you trying to act hard, which that's what rap is, but still, like I gotta believe you a little bit. If I don't believe you, then I can't really fuck with you. But I liked his singing songs.
This rapper in the game at the time, Lil Wayne and Jay-Z.
He really ain't start talking gangster till he got around Lil Wayne and the whole Hollywood, New Orleans thing, and all the New Orleans niggas.
Actually had a past history of beefing prior to this, which I covered in my video, Lil Wayne versus Jay-Z, What Happened. I recommend you watch that video to get
to watch that, because I really don't know where they went wrong at neither. I just know that, Wayne wanted to be the best in the world. You hear me? So when Hov retired, he started claiming that title as the best in the world. So it's like then Hov came back. I guess he didn't like that or something, but that was petty. That's petty beef.
Better understanding of this beef because the two beefs are connected. By 2008, Jay-Z and Lil Wayne patched things up and seemed to be on good terms after some collaborations.
Yeah, like I said, that's what we thought it started from, the Wayne and Jay-Z thing, but it had to be deeper than
After
that.
getting a ton of buzz through mixtapes and on social media platform MySpace, Drake was discovered.
Is that Jay Prince and Jay Prince Jr.? Because Jay Prince, damn, I didn't know he was still that young when he met Drake, because that nigga old as shit.
Covered by James Prince Jr. Prince would introduce Lil Wayne to Drake, playing.
Back in these times, Wayne seemed way more happy. Like, if you ever catch a vlog or a video with him, like, Wayne used to be joking bad, like, talking about Nicki, he used to be ribbing them boys. Like, it used to be funny. Like, Wayne was that nigga. Like, he wasn't too serious. Now he older, he a little bit more serious and shit, you know what I'm saying? Which is cool, but back then, you'll get a play for Wayne.
Him some tracks, which at first, Weezy thought that Drake was garbage. Prince was persistent and kept playing Drake records to Wayne until eventually he wanted to speak to Drake. Prince put the two on the phone and a meeting. Eventually he wanted.
Is that all right? I was about to say Mac Man was the first nigga to put the keys as a chain.
Wanted to speak to Drake. Prince put the two on the phone and a
How corny
meeting was
Drake is.
orchestrated.
Was and
Quick
is.
side note, Drake had already established his own
Go ahead,
record
go ahead.
label called October's Very Own, or OVO for short. In 2008, after their meeting, Lil Wayne invited Drake to join him on his The Carter 3 tour. While on tour, the two recorded multiple songs together. Eventually, Drake would sign to Young Money Entertainment and Cash
all that,
Money
nigga. We don't
under
need
a
the
joint
history of Wayne and
venture.
Drake. I don't wanna
Drake
know.
would begin gaining a crazy amount of buzz, and after dropping his mixtape So Far Gone in February 2009, it was clear that Drake was next in line. During this time, Jay-Z was on one of his biggest runs commercially, gearing up for the third installment of the legendary Blueprint series. Jay-Z being a highly
They got a Blueprint 3? Shit, I don't even remember Blueprint 2. I remember Blueprint. I don't remember a Blueprint 2 or 3. Nigga said the third.
competitive of the legendary, his biggest runs commercially, gearing up for the third installment of the legendary
installment.
Blueprint series.
I don't know.
Jay-Z, being a highly competitive rapper, was
swear I don't
definitely
remember
putting Drake
Blueprint
on
2 or
his
3.
radar during his major blow-up, so the two would link
And y'all let me know if I'm wrong. I fuck with Hov, and I went back and I listened to Blueprint and what was the first one he had? Reasonable Doubt. I checked them bitches out just to see in my older state, because I heard it when I was younger. I was like, I wasn't really fucking with it, but now as an older, I fuck with it, but it still ain't that shit that make a nigga be like, damn, like they acting like it's a super classic, like it ain't. Like that Young Jeezy Thug Motivation 101, that was a classic, you know what I'm saying? Like 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying, that was a classic, shit like that. But the whole Blueprints and it wasn't that. But if I'm in a certain mood, I'm in a certain hustler mindset, and I'm riding around at nighttime or something, I might put that bitch on, you know what I'm saying? But it is a lot of skip songs that's on there, and I might like one or two or three, but it ain't really all that.
up to do a track together
I could be
called
tripping.
Off
Put in the
That,
comments if y'all-
which was set to be
if
the
y'all
first
listen
single
to Jay-Z music to this day, 2026. Let me know, because there's a lot of old school people who they give credit to that niggas ain't, you know what I'm saying, wasn't that. Busta Rhymes, not that. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucking, like, you can't really listen to none of them niggas and now. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple niggas I can fuck with now, but not too many.
off of the Blueprint 3. This unfortunately did not end up happening
I don't even listen to Wayne now.
due to the track leaking, which Jay-Z would put the blame mostly on the producer of the track, Timbaland. On
usually
September
is the
8th,
producer's fault.
2009, Jay-Z dropped his album The Blueprint 3. The track Off That
So he did have Blueprint 3. Damn, I'm slacking. I'm tripping, y'all. I'm gonna have to go back and see. I gotta go see Blueprint 2 then. Because I know for sure I heard Blueprint 1. I don't remember Blueprint 3. I see is with Death of Auto-Tune.
with Drake would appear on this album, marking their first ever official collaboration. Drake would appear on this album, marking their first ever official collaboration. Now, Drake didn't have an actual verse on
If you're a producer and you're still scrolling through presets in 2026, you're already behind. While you're
the record, just performed in the chorus, which most fans would be disappointed with. Track 9, titled A Star Is Born, is Jay-Z chronicling all the artists he witnessed become stars in the rap game. On the second verse, he says that Drake is up
Cudi.
next.
Drake's up next. See what he do with it.
A week
Alright,
later,
so I do
on
remember that album. I just never listened to the album. I remember the songs and the singles that came out. I just never really went and listened to Blueprint 3.
September 15th, 2009, Drake dropped the So Far Gone EP. On this was a track called Fear, and on the second verse, Drake says that he didn't cry when Pac died, but will probably cry when Hov does. Then goes on to say that Jay-Z taught him values. Drake has cited Jay-Z as one of his inspirations, and he widely considered
See, that's what I'm saying. Everybody, Wayne said the same thing. Like Drake is the JC is the inspiration. When I go listen to it to try to see where they coming from, I'm like, I don't see it.
is Jay-Z
Not for him to be the best in the world. Same thing they did with Biggie Smalls. And Biggie Smalls was never the best in the world, best lyricist, none of that. I don't see it. You know what I'm saying? I don't see
to
it.
be the GOAT of
Now Tupac, yeah, I can see that. DMX, yeah, I can see that. I can see it from Jada Kiss, you know what I'm saying? But
hip-hop.
and yes, Kiss is way better than Hov to me.
I never cried when Pac died, but I probably will when Hov does.
The next month, on October 31st, 2009, Jay-Z was at Much Music in Toronto, and when asked about Drake, he gave him some advice.
Okay, so Drake, amazing. I know that you're a fan, I know you work with him, and he speaks really highly of you. So, I mean, he is already at that point where he could blow up into craziness. So what do you wish that somebody would have told you at that point?
I just, he just needs to focus. I mean, he's proved that he's very talented, with that mixtape, which was phenomenal. He proves she likes it. He proved that he's
always been nonchalant. I give him that.
very talented. So he just has to maintain that focus because right now all the eyes are on him and not lose that. And if he I think he's gonna be fine. If he stays focused, he'll be fine.
Good things? Okay,
Yeah.
next one more photo.
That same night, Drake and Jay-Z took to stage performing Drake's song Successful from So Far Gone. In December 2009, Drake did an interview with Wrap Up TV where he would reveal that he and Jay-Z did a song for his debut album called Light Up. The next year, on March 5th, 2010, Drake, along with Lil Wayne and Nicki Minaj, would take the stage at Jay-Z's Blueprint 3 concert at Madison Square Garden when Jeezy would bring all three of them out. On June 15th, 2010, Drake dropped his debut studio album, Thank Me Later, which would debut at number 1.
I honestly never listened to complete projects of Drake ever. Like, I never heard a complete Drake album before. Probably heard singles and songs, but I never heard a whole Drake album before. No,
selling over 470,000 copies in the first week, making Drake the hottest up-and-coming rapper in the world. Track 10, titled Light Up, features Jay-Z.
So even from that first album, only song I remember was that first. Oh, all right, got Fireworks. I used to love Fireworks. And what was it? That first song he did that I didn't know Kanye West wrote. What was it? I don't remember. Find Your Love. I like that one. I better find your love. And I remember that one. Remember Fireworks. Unforgettable. I thought Unforgettable was Fireworks. Shut down. All right, so I know.
On his verse, he would warn Drake about what's going to happen to him when he's at the top of the game, saying that they're going to start beef with him to try and take his spot.
Drake, here's how they gon' come at you. With silly rap views trying to distract you.
These lyrics aged extremely well, given that Jay-Z seemingly predicted what would happen to Drake later on in his career. Drake would speak on this collab in an interview with MTV News a week later.
The joint with you and Jay-Z on the album, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I know you and Jay are cool, but it still has to be a little competitive when you go and lay in your verse and him going his lane in his verse, because I know you trying to eat him up, he trying to eat you up.
Yeah.
Now, when you listen to his verse, you be like, woo, he's going in, or same thing with Jeezy's verse or Wayne's verse.
Yeah, usually when it's your album, you gotta do your verse first. It's kind of like rare that someone will send you a song and be like, get on my album.
Did you ever want to do your verse over and be like, you know what?
You know what, actually, my verse was way harder on Light Up before, and a song that I had used I had done.
All right, so I ain't never knew that he did an interview with Envy, because I noticed he ain't never been on the Breakfast Club, I assume because of Charlemagne, but I guess Envy got his Drake interview before it all happened.
And then the song was never supposed to, it was nothing was supposed to happen with it, and it leaked. And then the bars from that song were just so hard. It was a song with Big Sean, and those bars, there were some bars on that song that fit so much better on Light Up. It made so much more sense. And the last night before mastering, I had to go in and switch the first 12 bars. So on Light Up, I lost my footing a bit. Jay came and killed me on that. Jay killed me. That's what I think anyway. Jay killed me on that.
He was upset. He was upset on that.
I ain't lying. That's another thing. When Jay get on the feature, I love his features. I love that verse on God Did. I love that verse on the one with Young Jeezy. I done seen it all. He got some feature verses that I fuck with for sure.
Right, somebody pissed him off that day.
But it was just the conversations me and Jay have. He's so intrigued by where my life is at, because it's almost like he's seeing it happen again for somebody else. So he was like, I'm just gonna tell you all I've learned.
Right.
And it was a beautiful moment. I've really never heard Jay get that personal in a long time.
On the track called Thank Me Now, from that very same album, it's speculated that Drake threw some shots at Jay-Z. On the first verse, Drake says that eventually your idols become your rivals, then saying that you make friends with Mike, meaning Michael Jordan, but have to AI him for your survival. Drake is referring to when a rookie Allen Iverson crossed up his idol, Michael Jordan. Drake is referring to Jay-Z, who frequently refers to himself as the Jordan of rap, saying that he's going to have to be like AI and cross him up to stay on top, with both having that competitive mindset.
And that's around the time that your idols become your rivals. You make friends with Mike, but gotta AI him for your survival.
Later that's
all right. See, now I get it. At first, when I heard the AI, I'm thinking he talking about like, AI type shit here, but I'm not even thinking about Allen Iverson. But yeah, that was
summer. Drake would bring out Jay-Z at the 2010 OVO Fest in Toronto to perform Run This Town. That same summer, Drake would do an interview with Tim Westwood to announce that he and Lil Wayne were planning on dropping a collab album together.
Did that ever happen?
At this time, it wasn't really a big trend to do collab albums. It was more of a special occasion to see, but it would later become a huge thing in rap. In September of that year, Drake and Jay-Z would perform their track Light Up at the Yankee Stadium for the Home and Home tour.
I don't remember this song.
Later that year, Jay-Z and Kanye West would announce that they are working on a collab album together called
That's a crazy ass outfit. I mean, he been on some crazy ass shit. Look at the purse. Is that a purse or that's the chain? That's his. It look like that bitch coming from his chain. That's crazy.
Watch The Throne, with The Throne being Jay and Ye's name as a collective. In January of 2011, Drake would claim that they both stole that idea from himself and Lil Wayne after hearing his
I can see that because, like I said, the first one I remember was the Kanye and Drake. I don't remember Wayne and Drake ever doing nothing.
In Westwood interview.
Collaborative album mixtape.
I mean, we still gotta do that album.
Yes, you still got to do that
some
album.
other guys are coming out with the album too. There's two other guys that are coming out with it together. Two other rappers that are coming out with an album together. I don't know where they got that idea, but.
See, even his pettiness is so corny. Like, his pettiness is like flamboyant. Like, it's like, nigga, talk your shit. You hear me? Like, man, they stole my idea.
That same month, on January 11th, 2000.
For real. It's like he's scared to, he throwing his hints and
2011, the first single from Watch the Throne dropped called Ham, where Jay-Z infamously dissed Birdman for his comments claiming that Lil Wayne has more money than him. If you want to know exactly what happened behind that, I highly recommend you watch my Lil Wayne versus Jay-Z video to get a better understanding. It would be after this that Drake and Jay-Z's friendship would fall apart, because Drake would directly inherit this beef from Lil Wayne. Plus, at the same time, Drake
but he already started throwing them slick shots when he talking about two other guys, so that was before that. So Drake, he already felt the way, you know what I'm saying?
Kanye West were starting to have their own differences, so it was just a disdain and a competition on both sides of the camp. On May 20th, 2011...
What I want to know is when niggas say Drake wrote songs for other people and people be like, man, I seen him write the song. Like, have you seen him write the song, or you seen him reading it out the phone, or a nigga gave him out the phone? I believe he still had ghostwriters sending it to his phone, and then he act like he writing it in. Come on, man, it's the game. Nigga act like he writing it in front of y'all while you in the studio. He like, oh, I'm putting this together, but really he putting together the shit that then it sent them. You know what I'm saying? So I don't believe that Drake used to write his own shit or write shit for other people. I don't believe it.
DJ Khaled dropped his track I'm On One with Rick Ross, Lil Wayne, and Drake. At the end of Drake's verse, it's speculated that he sent subliminal shots towards Jay-Z and Kanye, saying that the throne is for the taking, telling everyone to watch him take it, which is a clear reference to Watch the Throne.
I'm just feeling like the throne is for.
See, Drake brung all this upon himself. Wayne ain't say, oh, do this, or he ain't doing this for Wayne. No, he doing this because of that motherfucking Watch the Throne album, and they took his idea, and he petty like that. He light skinned. That's why he doing this.
For the taking. Watch me take.
Immediate.
I'm just feeling like the throne is for the taking. Watch me take.
Immediate speculation would begin circulating about this line, so Drake would take to Twitter that same day to deny that he was dissing Jay-Z. Hove diss? Hove, of all people, has not lost it. That's God Body Flow. That same day as Drake.
So you really talking about the man, beefing with the man, but then you denying that you all on his dick. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's why I said if you gonna talk your shit and you gotta stand on it, dog. He wasn't standing on that shit.
Was rolling out his second album, Take Care. He dropped a track called Dreams Money Can Buy on his OVO blog site. On this track, it's speculated that Drake sent more subliminals at Jay-Z. This track would eventually be re-released in 2019 on the compilation album Care Package.
And I feel like lately it went from top 5 to remaining 5. My favorite rappers either lost it or they ain't alive.
That summer, on August 29th, 2011, Lil Wayne dropped his album The Carter 4. On the track It's Good, featuring Drake and Jadakiss, Wayne would respond to Jay-Z's disses towards Birdman on Ham, where he
was just take your wife and some shit he said.
Would threaten to kidnap Beyonce and take out Jay-Z. Drake, on the other hand, would throw some shots towards Jay-Z as...
And that was a light-ass ball. It was a weak-ass ball, really. That wasn't like... like, when you think about Wayne, you would think he'll do better, but Wayne really hasn't been battle-tested when you think about it. Like, niggas, Wayne ain't never battled nobody. I want to see what it sound like, but Wayne ain't never really battled nobody to know what them punches and them jabs would be like, specifically going at a person. He never did it.
As well, in defense of Lil Wayne and Birdman at the beginning of his verse.
Please pardon my brother, he's just angry at you who don't have your heart in your rap shit.
On November 11th, 2011, Drake would...
Back then, you don't know who the fuck... I ain't know who nigga was talking about. You just thinking it sound like some dope shit to say, some dope rap shit.
Sit down with Billboard for an interview, and during the interview, he was asked about never winning a Grammy despite having 6 nominations at this point.
Damn, Drake
In
ain't
2009, Drake's track Best I Ever Had lost to Jay-Z's track DOA. So in this interview, Drake speaks about how losing to Hove angered him. But the one that really got to me was when I lost to DOA for Best I Ever Had. That one to me was like, really? Not to say that Jay-Z isn't the most incredible rapper and that DOA wasn't a good song. I just felt like they had an option to give me a Grammy for a mixtape, and they just didn't do it because it goes against the grain of everything that is traditional.
They probably didn't do it because it was a mixtape, nigga. If it was from an album, you probably would have got it.
On November 15th,
I could have sworn Best I Ever Had was off his album. I don't know.
2011, Drake dropped his album Take Care. On the track The Ride, it's once again speculated that Drake took subliminal shots at Jay-Z.
Getting older, I see no threat in Yoda.
A couple of weeks later, Jay-Z would share a handwritten note on the OVO blog site congratulating Drake on selling 631,000 copies.
I thought you were about to say a handwritten note that Drake sent him about how you the idol and all that, but
in the first week with Take Care, saying, quote, "Monster numbers comes in. Proud of your journey. Peace, Hove." After this, beef rumors would be quieted following Jay's comments, and things would settle down in 2012, and in 2013, Drake was gearing up for the release of his third album, Nothing Was the Same. Now by this time, Drake was just dominating. Everything he touched was a colossal hit record. On July 25th, 2013, Jay-Z did an interview with Elliott Wilson, where he would speak on his competition with Drake, saying that Drake's the Kobe Bryant to his Michael Jordan. There's a respect thing there. But there's also a competitive thing, and it's done in the right way. He's definitely the one that's reared his head as the guy. He's definitely Kobe Bryant. That August, Drake brought out Kanye at the 2013 OVO Fest, where Ye would say that him and Jay wouldn't have done Watch the Throne if it wasn't for Drake putting so much pressure on them by taking over the game.
And we wouldn't be able to make the music that we make. Me and Hov would have never made Watch the Throne.
He admitted they stole that idea from Drake and Wayne, so I believe it now. Just by Kanye saying that, he stole that idea from them boys for sure. I heard them niggas talking about how they was gonna do a joint album. They like, shit, we already got a couple songs. All we gotta do is knock out a few new ones, and we could do it first. You know what I'm saying? Our shit gonna be bigger and better. I can see, and I'm pretty sure it probably was Kanye's idea to steal it.
You weren't putting pressure on us like that. Watch the Throne. if this wasn't putting pressure on us like that.
Is he there?
I've seen plenty of power banks over my 15 years of reviewing
Drake
tech,
there,
but this
or
Ridge
just
one
saying?
quickly became a favorite. So this, a 10.
On September 24th, 2013, Drake dropped his album Nothing Was the Same. On the track Pound Cake, Jay-Z is featured. Now, it is said that Jay-Z actually ended up sending Drake 2 verses that were set to appear on his album Magna Carta Holy Grail.
It's a weird ass couple. And I hate that people be repping these white statues and the white crosses, and that's a whole nother stuff.
But he decided to send it to Drake instead to put on Pound Cake. On the first line of his verse, Jay-Z actually dissed Drake when he said that he had Benzes before Drake had braces.
I had Benzes before you had braces.
On part 2 of the track called Paris.
That could be just in general, you know what I'm saying? Just some fly shit to say. Cause I don't know if Drake ever had braces. If Drake had braces, then yeah, that's a shot. But if he never had braces, then Jay-Z probably was just saying that, to anybody. And it was like, bitch, I had a Benz before you have braces. You know what I'm saying?
Chris Morton music
To most
too,
niggas.
Drake would seemingly respond to Jay's line. Later in the verse, he says that he studied the game from past artists like Jay-Z, but now he's doing it better.
Like I didn't study the game to the letter and understand that I'm not
It's 2 different songs, though, right? Or is that the same song?
doing it the same and I'm doing it better.
That same day, Drake appeared on Hot 97 for an interview to speak on his album, and he spoke on Pound Cake and his relationship.
Remember when Drake had like the weakest performance ever? All he used to do was that little hand, and that's what he was just known for. They were like, and then he started switching it up later. But at first, all his shows were just with that little hand wave.
Relationship with Jay-Z. Drake would say that they have a great relationship and that Hove is a great mentor to him.
Just rap.
So you have like built a nice relationship with him.
I
with
mean,
Jay.
yeah, I think like one of the strongest. I think, if not.
That didn't even sound confident. It sounded like he wanted to say something else. He's like, I mean, yeah, like then he said one of the strong. Like, nah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't think he believed that.
The strongest.
Of all the other rappers?
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
That was the
Who
case.
knew?
All would be
Yeah, I
cool,
know.
man.
Yeah, he's like he's just like
I
an
don't even-
incredible.
Look how he said it. Yeah.
definitely.
Wow. Who knew?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's like
Yeah,
he's just like an incredible mentor to me, and
That dude's a
gives me
liar.
great guidance and is very, very supportive. And you
Is
know,
that a new relationship or were you guys always cool?
Look,
it's always
she's
been
trying to
like
figure
that.
it out.
No, I mean, I think the more I make him proud, you know,
that's
I
so
think, yeah,
Look, when a female saying, "Oh, that's so cute," and that, like, boy, you're down bad. You hear me? Did the same thing with LeBron talking about making him proud, and I just want to make him proud. Like, come on, bro, you too grown for this game. That's
you know,
football. Look
the
at
more
her
I
reaction.
think the more I make him proud, you know,
that's
I
so
think, yeah, like,
cute.
you know, the more
Before that's so cute of a bitch ever. Oh, like, come on, you lost it already. You lost the plot.
I show improve, like that, the like, you know, that's where the relationship grows. You know, it's just like the more
Basically, y'all ain't got no relationship. Y'all relationship is you trying to show him that you're better, and you trying to show him that, you know what I'm saying? Like you want that father appreciation type of love. Like, that's all their relationship is.
has to say to me, you know, and I've been consistent enough to sort of deserve or warrant advice from him.
Right.
And he gives it to me, you know, and he's just I saw him last night. He's like he's the best.
Wayne for that.
real.
Wow.
He's just a solid dude.
Yeah. We like Hov up here.
Oh yeah,
so.
of course.
After this, it seemed as if everything was
That
cool.
nigga whole body language, and you know how you could read somebody's body language and shit. His body language was saying like, "Come on, why you asking me that? I don't really fuck with dude, but I'm gonna give you the good answer because we in New York." You know what I'm saying?
Between the two, but that would be short-lived. Just months later, in February of 2014, Drake did an interview with Rolling Stone where he would take a jab at Jay-Z for having art references in his songs. It's like Hov can't drop bars these days without at least 4 art references. I would love to collect at some point, but I think the whole rap/art world thing.
So I bet not see you start collecting no paintings and all that shit, Drake. So you better leave it to Jay-Z then. 'Cause if you start doing it in the future, that's corny.
Is getting kind of corny. Now, Drake of all people calling
By them teeth, I could tell Drake probably did have braces, so that verse probably was about him.
you corny
That's the real Drake. That's that's him. You know what I'm saying?
is just crazy. So of course, Drake of all people calling you corny is just crazy.
That's a fact.
So of course, Jay-Z was not going to go for this. The next month, on March 23rd, 2014, Jay-Z and his Rock Nation protege, Jay Electronica, dropped a...
And I'm from New Orleans, and I ain't even noticed that's Jay Electronica. I don't really know Jay Electronica like that. I know the name, know he from New Orleans, but I can't... I know he was on the Control verse, but I can't really think of no other Jay Electronica. And there's no disrespect, because that's New Orleans, his home base, you know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't recognize him if I see him, and that's point proven. I just saw him, and I'm like, who the fuck is that? And it's the whole Jay Electronica.
Freestyle over Soulja Boy's We Made It beat. Now this in itself was a shot at Drake, because in late 2013, Drake did his own version over this exact beat. On his verse, Jay-Z would...
I hate these Jesus pieces too, like, and Jay-Z too big to be up, but like, I hate these like white Jesus pieces, like, I hate them. I'd do it probably, I ain't got no cross, but if I did, it'd be like a regular cross, not with the man on it and all. I wouldn't do all that, but I hate them Jesus pieces right there.
Directly respond to Drake's comments in his Rolling Stone interview, where he would apologize to Drake for the art references, but calls him Mrs. Drizzy.
Sorry, Mrs. Drizzy, for so much y'all talk. Silly me rapping about that I really bought. Why these rappers rap about guns they ain't shot.
A week later,
that sounded like a real old nigga verse though, but it's cool. At least he was direct, you know what I'm saying? Say the nigga name, nigga, yeah, he talked about what we beefing about. I like that, you know what I'm saying? He was direct. Ain't no fucking
on April 1st, 2014, Drake would drop a track called Draft Day, which is dedicated to the then rookie football star Johnny Manziel. On this track, it's speculated that he clapped back at Jay-Z with some subliminals.
I think I'm on my 8th flow, just watch me paint flow. We all do it for the art, so I can never hate though.
Later that month, during an NBA playoff game between the Toronto Raptors...
I'll go back to that interview I was just saying where you could tell he didn't mean nothing he said. You know what I'm saying? As soon as he left the interview, nigga went and did another diss song.
And the Brooklyn Nets, which of course, Drake, hailing from Toronto, supports the Raptors, and Jay-Z, being from Brooklyn, supports the Nets. During an on-court interview, Drake would send more shots at Jay-Z, saying, "This is the people's team." Drake would send more shots.
Nigga got a crop top jacket on top of another jacket. What sense did that make? He wanted to wear the crop top, but you didn't want your stomach out, so he said, I'm gonna put another jacket on. Nigga, you could have just wore the record.
At Jay-Z, saying, like "This is the people's team out here tonight." You know what I mean? Toronto Raptors. Jay-Z somewhere eating a fondue plate. On May 13th, 2014, DJ Khaled dropped the track They Don't Love You No More with Meek Mill, French Montana, Rick Ross, and Jay-Z. On his verse, Jay-Z clapped back at Drake for his disses on his track Draft Day.
Haters wanna ball, let me tighten up my drawstring. Wrong sports ball, you know you're soft as a lacrosse team.
Fast forward.
Let me tighten up my drawstring.
What song that is?
This is on his track Draft Day.
Haters wanna ball, let me tighten up my drawstring. Wrong sports ball, you know you're soft as a lacrosse team.
Ain't no getting back cool after that. Like, that showed you that Jay-Z already think of you as soft. Like, nigga, you's a soft ass nigga. Like, we been to you as soft. Like, we don't even take you seriously over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jay-Z, that just showed Drake, like, nigga, you been thinking that. Yes, we all been thinking
Fast forward to February 13th, 2015, Drake dropped his album, If You're Reading This, It's Too Late. And on the track 6 p.m. in New York, he sent more subliminal shots towards Jay-Z, saying that he should be the third member of the Throne duo.
Ooh, what's up, everybody? It's me again, and you know, when you see one of these, well, it's upside down.
That probably actually would have been a right project. Fucking Kanye, Drake, and Hov. We'll never get it, bro. I'm about to see him, boy. We get that in the future. That might be something. We'll never get it.
Like the throne should be the three of y'all.
That same year, Throne duo subliminal shots towards Jay-Z, saying that he should be the third member of the Throne duo.
You rapping like the throne should be the three of y'all.
That same year in 2015, Jay-Z.
Who was the three? It was already them two on the throne. Now Nicki was looking good at this time, boy. Look at Nicki. I was never a Rihanna fan like that. Shout out to Rihanna, but at this time, especially at this time, Nicki was that bitch.
He would announce the relaunch of his newly bought.
Damn, so J. Cole been starting off with like the the regular dreads. Like he knew when he had his bush, he was just he freeform and just let that shit just
Streaming service called Tidal. At the launch announcement, a bunch of big names were on stage, except for Drake. That's because it was reported that Drake...
It's crazy if you ain't know him, though. None of them look rich but Usher. Usher probably, you'd be like, yeah, you know Usher rich, but all the rest of them...
turned down Jay's offer to partner with Tidal. According to Billboard, Drake was supposed to be one of the many celebrities that signed on for joint ownership of Tidal at a star-studded launch ceremony back in March, but he dropped out as late as 2 days before the event. Drake seemingly rejected the offer because he did not want to be under Jay-Z and would end up signing a $19 million deal with Apple, which was a direct competitor of Tidal. In the summer of 2015, Drake and Meek Mill would be engaged in a beef, prompting Drake to drop a diss track called Charged Up on July 27th, 2015. On this track, he speaks about signing the deal with Apple and throws shots at Jay-Z's Tidal, keeping in mind that Meek Mill is a Roc Nation artist. Drake uses the word entitled to do a play on Tidal.
I'm trying to take the high road. I still got love for my idols. I got me a deal with Apple and I still feel entitled.
On January 31st, 2016, Drake would start off the year dropping a track called Summer 16. On this track, Drake took a really disrespectful jab at Jay-Z.
I used to want to be on Rockefeller, then I turned into Jay.
A couple of months later, on April 5th, 2016, Drake would drop his album Views. That same day, he dropped the track called Pop Style, along with One Dance as singles promoting the album. The tracks were released along with One Dance as singles promoting the album. The tracks were released for exclusive digital download on iTunes. On the single version of released for exclusive digital download on iTunes. On the single version of the track for exclusive digital download on iTunes. On the single version of the track Pop Style features the duo of Kanye West and Jay-Z listed as The Throne. On this track, Jay-Z just did a single line, not a verse. Now on the album itself, Drake did his own version of the track, leaving Jay-Z and Ye off it. Drake would later explain why Jay-Z only had a single line on the track the next month in an interview with Zane Lowe. Of course, people want to hear Jay-Z rap, so hearing him do 2 lines might be frustrating to a certain audience. That's just landed in my lap. I just dealt with it accordingly. It didn't play out how I wanted it to as far as business or whatever goes, so I figured it would be easier to go with my version. Sometimes we just fall on opposite sides of the spectrum. It's always mutual respect, but sometimes it has to be from afar. According to Kanye, at a show during his St. Pablo tour in October of that year, the track was scrapped from Drake's album due to streaming politics.
Hov look like an old ass nigga at this time. That's crazy, huh?
With Apple.
I really don't know why people is really like in love with Jay-Z. Like all the rappers, oh, he's the best. Like he's not.
Apple and Tidal, cool. Also out of respect for Meek Mill.
But then it went out of that territory, it went into some Tidal, some political, some percentages on songs.
That summer, on June 26th, 2016, DJ Khaled dropped his track I Got the Keys with Future and Jay-Z. Throughout the track, Jay-Z took more subliminals at Drake. On the first verse, he opened up responding to Drake's Summer 16 jab, saying that he can't be him until he owns his masters.
It's always asking me the key. Till you own your own, you can't be free. Till you own your own.
Now I give him that. Like he really always been on some bullshit. Put his own money up for the first tour, album, all that shit. So being independent, starting his own label, being on your own shit. So yeah, I see that. Like he is the top nigga in the game from even doing that. First nigga to do that, I believe too. So if it's that, then I respect it for sure. I'm just saying he ain't the best lyricist.
You can't be me.
On the second key, can't be him until he owns his masters.
It's always asking me the key. Till you own your own, you can't be free. Till you own your own, you can't be me.
On the second verse, he once again sent subliminal shots at Drake.
In real life, they like me. In real life, I'm like, no.
A couple of months later, on October 23rd, 2016,
grades, them bitches look fake when you look at them now. That was not Drake here. That's the whole little man unit.
Drake and 21 Savage dropped their track Sneakin', and on his verse, Drake sent subliminals at Jay-Z for saying that he has to own his masters to be like him. He says that Jay didn't own his masters right away, which is true, because Jay-Z didn't own his masters until 2015. So Drake says to have some patience.
I thought Hov started out at, I forgot he was on Def Jam and shit too. By the sound of why I thought he always was just Rockefeller, then Rock Nation, and then, you know what I'm saying?
And he'll be right there with him.
You ain't on it right away, you had to wait on niggas. Man, I'm only 29, had some patience with us.
A couple of months later, on February 12th, 2017, DJ Khaled dropped the track Shining with Jay-Z and Beyonce. On his verse, Jay-Z sent subliminal shots back at Drake once again, referencing the Summer 16 record.
Gotta fuck with Beyonce. She badly. I can't really think of a Beyonce song that wasn't a hit.
12 solo albums all platinum. I know you ain't out here talking numbers right. I know you ain't out here talking summers right.
Later that year, in November,
talking numbers right. 12 solo albums all platinum. I know you ain't out here talking.
Damn, 12 solo albums, all of them platinum? Oh, damn, that's unheard of. I gotta go do the I gotta go look that up and see if that's true. It gotta be facts if he's saying it, but I gotta go look it up and see.
Talking numbers right. I know you ain't out here talking summers right.
Later that year, in November 2017, Jay-Z was on his 444.
And could he buy them numbers at the time? Like, could he buy himself to be platinum at that time when you just got so much money? Like, shit, I'm gonna make sure all my albums go platinum so I can have that mystique.
Tour, and he decided to pay homage to Drake, remixing his tracks Know Yourself and KMT while Drake was actually in attendance in Toronto. After this, people would think that the beef would be squashed as the two appeared to be on good terms. The next year, on June 29th, 2018, Drake dropped his album Scorpion, and on the track Talk Up, Jay-Z would be featured. One line in particular I want to mention was at the very end of Jay's verse. He talks about killing X, which is a reference to the murder of the late rapper XXXTentacion. Drake has been heavily speculated to have allegedly had something to do with X's murder, so I find it funny that Jay mentioned this here. It's also been said that Hov recorded his verse while in Europe for the On the Run 2 tour days before the album's release, and X was killed 11 days prior.
Y'all kill X, let Cinnamon live. Streets is done.
And the crazy part, nigga did it
days
on
prior.
a Drake song with Drake.
Y'all kill X,
in 2000, nigga did it on the Drake song. That's crazy.
Streets is done.
On that album was a track called Survival, where Drake would reference how he's trading shots with the GOAT, which is referring to Jay-Z, and how they talked about their subliminal beef.
Taking shots with the GOAT and talking about shots that we send it.
The next month, while Jay and Beyonce were still...
I was just saying, I want to see Hov when he first started growing his dreads. Let me see that phase. I was looking at the naps he had at first. I'm like, I don't even remember him growing his hair, but I do remember it.
On their On the Run 2 tour, they stopped in Detroit, where Drake and Jay-Z would link up, being photographed by Rock Nation Senior Vice President Lenny S. This would mark their first time being photographed together in over 5 years. In December of 2019, Drake did his infamous Rap Radar interview where he would speak on his beef with Jay-Z.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, I mean, yeah. We smoke. But you like the sparring though, you know, because like you say you take shots with the GOAT. You talk about the shots that you sent with Jay-Z. Like, why has that relation remained intact? Why has it never gone left?
I think Jay has a lot of respect for me, and he's aware of the massive amount of respect that I have for him at the end of the day. And I think we both enjoyed our moments of, you know, him, you know, checking the young boy and me trying to be like, nah, I'm here, you know, like.
After this, nothing else.
Drake always try to put it like he just that young nigga. Nigga, you a grown ass man when you doing all this shit though. So don't act like you that young boy and you the. Come on,
happened, man. And in late 2021, on Drake's album Certified Lover Boy, Jay-Z was featured on the track called Love All. Who do you think had the upper hand in this subliminal match? Drake or Jay-Z?
I give it to Hove. Cause when you look at what Hove at now, still, and what Drake at, and Hove, really, you could say Hove predicted all this shit was gonna happen. So you should have listened, young boy, and stop trying to act like you got it all, man. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, and
Do it for the bar, just do it for the bar.